Greetings from Kentucky. I'm Heather Vitale for Harness Racing Update. Lexington is known as the horse capital of the world, but during the first week of October, it becomes the harness horse capital of the world. Between Grand Circuit Racing at the Red Mile and the Lexington Select Yearling Sale at Fasig-Tipton, people in the standardbred biz flock to the Bluegrass state. But before you can get to the winner's circle, you have to find a winner at the sale. So let's talk with some consigners and buyers as yearlings are showcased and the sale books get marked up with high expectations of a very successful auction. David, you have a large consignment here with Preferred Equine. One thing about the consignment and this sale in general, it's not just for the big dogs in breeding. You've got some smaller breeding farms that are part of this sale.
Yeah, traditionally they always are, and here at Preferred Equine we represent, probably 25 plus breeders here, and wherever the yearlings seem to fit the best is what we recommend to the breeders, and we have a good working relationship, and so when we're here we're really representing a lot of people, and hopefully we're making some people happy for sure.
What about the buzz? A yearling that will go for $1 million? Like, is that going to happen, do you think?
Listen, it'd be great for the industry to have that happen, and I'm never going to rule it off. And as hot as it is outside, temperature-wise, maybe it'll carry over to Tuesday and Wednesday night, and it'd be great if it could happen. Listen, it'd be good for the industry, creates excitement and whatever. And if it's a reality, that'd be an awesome thing.
All right, fingers crossed, everybody. It's super hot out, so I needed to be by somebody super cool. Woo. People might not realize all of the effort that goes into this whole selecting a yearling process. You don't just show up on sale night and raise your hand. Tell me a little bit about that process.
Well, we start looking on Saturdays. Well, mostly we've been to the farms and looked at a lot of the horses. And as we come back, take a look again and look again, and 3 or 4 times to see if we want to purchase the horse. So it's a long process.
Wow. Okay. Now, we are in Lexington. That's one great thing about the whole work process that you're doing. We're in a really great spot. We're in a beautiful city. Tell me about the vibe you get in Lexington.
It's just a great place to come. The weather's always great, and you got beautiful women like you here. And then we got great restaurants like Tony's and Jeff Ruby's, just unreal restaurants. So it's just a great place to come for the 2 weeks.
Let me just tell you, that was a great return on me calling you so cool. And you call me beautiful. Slick guy right here. Bob, the talk around here is all about number 44. Tell me about that horse.
He's just a gorgeous, correct, athletic colt. And obviously we have a big boost with a full brother, Green Shoe, that just went in 49-4 yesterday and looked awesome doing it.
Tell me about his breeding and what's his name?
His name is Maverick, and he's a Father Patrick out of a Donato Hanno mare named Designed to Be.
So I just found out this guy is such a star. He has his own night watchman. Yeah, his own guard making sure that he's protected. Could he be our $1 million yearling? We're going to find out Tuesday night. What do you think, Maverick? Okay, now, how do you come up with who the baby daddy is, the mama? I mean, how does that all happen? Is it a team? Is it one person?
Well, with the Lebfield Cats mares, it's actually Perry Soderberg, myself, Jimmy Glass, and then Marvin Katz, and Al Lebfeld. And everybody puts in their suggestions, and it's pretty much led by Perry Soderberg. He's the breeding consultant and the guru on it, and we all have our comments about the mares, conformation, size, history, pedigree, and then the stallion's conformation and size, and the inbreeding coefficients and the abilities. But it's mainly Perry that does the bulk of the heavy lifting with that, because he spends hours researching, and he's done this for 30, 40 years doing this.
Adam, this is really exciting, this sale in particular. You've got first crops from Always Be Mickey, Southwind Frank, and Creatine. So are you more excited about one sire than another? Just give me your feelings on the sale.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big investment for us, the stallions, and we have a lot of money invested in Southwind Frank and Always Be Mickey. And then Creatine's a homebred who, raced for us, and now his first crop is here. So I'm excited for all three for different reasons. And we've got a good selection of all three.
I love Mickey. Do you have a favorite Mickey that I should be looking at for the sale?
Yeah, Hip 147. He is maybe a twin of Mickey, just a smaller version of Mickey. So, we've been excited about him since he was a foal, and he sells on day 2 near the beginning, and we're happy with where we're at with him.
You live in Kentucky, so just tell me, how great is this sale? How great is it just being in Lexington for this time of year?
Well, it's better than Maine, that's for sure. That's where I grew up, and I think it's like 40 degrees there now. So 90 beats 40 every day of the week. But no, it's been my home for 15 years, and I love it when everybody comes to town. There's the camaraderie and the atmosphere. I mean, it's what we live every day, and so it's kind of nice to share it with everybody else.
Okay, so there's just a few goals for this sale. 1 is finding your next world champion. 2 is staying cool. And 3 is not gaining 5 pounds from eating all the ice cream from the consigners. Yeah, we can handle that. Paul is a trainer from Holland, and he is here with all his buddies from the Why Not stable. And first of all, we're going to clarify that you're only looking at trotters. Is that right?
That's right. We don't have any paces in Europe.
Okay, so now we're in this video room. What are you looking for when you're looking at the videos of these yearlings?
Well, just checking out how they move, of course. If they trot straight and if they have a nice way of moving, that's the most important thing of me. I don't care too much about the speed.
What do you love about Lexington? Do you come here every year, by the way?
This is the 3rd time. I really love the area. It's beautiful and it's nice, and it's a big industry, and I liked it a lot.
Oh, what about you guys? What do you love about Lexington? Anybody have a favorite thing about being in the area?
When you drive here around with all the farms, the white fences, everything is green. It's fantastic. If you love horses, then you like Kentucky.
Yeah, all right. If you are part of the harness racing world, this is the place to be, Lexington. Which yearling am I really going to be keeping an eye on for the sale? 292, cocktail dress, because basically you just can't have too many of those. Carter, now I love a cocktail dress, really because of the name, because I am not a yearling connoisseur. I am learning all of this. So give me the sell on her. Tell me about her breeding, and why should I love her so much?
Well, she's a grand-looking filly, and she's from the first crop of bar hopping, and he's looked very good. And her mother was a foreign bred, had some foreign blood in her, and she was a very nice race mare. And this filly looks the part.
Now, you had a spectacular sale last year, so how are you feeling about this year?
I got a very good group of horses. They're very correct, and most of them have some athletic ability where they show it in the field, and I think it's a good group of horses.
All
It'd
right.
be good for the buyers.
I was just going to say.
Not too good for me as a seller.
Well, so we're getting the exclusive right now. Keep your eye out for the Peninsula Farm babies, because you could be finding maybe a diamond in the rough.
So true. So true. I agree with that.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
When you see the busiest man on the planet, you do not let him get away without getting an interview with him. And here we are doing all the pre-sale stuff. I want to see, how is that book holding up there?
The book's holding up really well. I mean, we've looked at a lot of horses, and I do this with the Tactor family, and Per Rangblom and Nancy and Brian Montgomery and his wife. So we've been through a lot of horses, and we're continue to do so. And also Dave Anderson, my buddy.
Is there one horse in particular that you do not want to leave Lexington without getting, or at least like one kind of horse?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think that we all come in and you can be go across the board, but for me, it's always been a really top trotting colt, or a couple top trotting colts. We always have had a lot of luck with the fillies. I was just laughing with Marvin Katz there. He's got one of the greatest broodmare bands, and I said, geez, Marv, I said, about 3/4 of your brood mares you bought from me. And I said, like as race fillies coming off the track, because I don't breed a lot of standardbreds. I do a lot of thoroughbreds with Mr. Hertrick and Rob Tribbett, but I don't do very much standardbred breeding. So he laughed and he said, yeah, that's by design. He said, they're all good fillies. So we buy nice fillies, and I've never kept them. But I would say the trotting side. And then pacers, I don't have as much knowledge with the pacers, although I enjoy it. So again, I'll just let the other folks try to lead me in the right direction on that.
Joe, is it hot enough for you?
It's warm. It's warm. And the horse, the bad thing about being so hot is in the afternoon, the horses are going to, when you bring them out enough, they're going to get hot. They're going to get tired. And then they don't look like what you'd like them to look for. Like, you know, you want them to be sharp and alert. So hopefully it won't be too hot. And hopefully it'll drive the people in before the horses. So all of a sudden, then they'll come in the morning when it's cool.
I'm glad you mentioned the way that your yearlings look, because actually we talked about it last year with Jim Ladwig, the yearling manager. The yearlings at Winback are known for looking spectacular. So we know they look great. So tell me about one that you love as far as breeding, conformation, and the whole package.
Well, I think that the ones we're selling on Tuesday, all of them are really nice horses, or they wouldn't be on the first night. But we have a colt that is kind of special in that he's a Some Beach Somewhere, which is, you know, he puts out a phenomenal coat. And but this is out of a mare named Weeper, so it's her first foal. I think she's got a record of 49. She was just a terrific race mare. Could close on anybody, and so it's her first foal. So it's kind of like you have your first child. This one is good, and she did really well by us. So, you know, I think that if I had to pick kind of a favorite or something I really like, I would put that probably as one of the top ones.
Good boy! Or it is a girl. No, it's a boy, right? Let me see. Okay, it's a boy. The excitement mounts for day one of the Lexington Select a Yearling sale at Fasig-Tipton. And we'll be here bringing you the highlights and the action from day one. I'm Heather Vitale for Harness Racing Update.